If you'll notice every day in the news, there are basically only 5 topics all of the networks touch on. It starts off with a big fire somewhere in Metro Manila, then a case of murder, rape, or robbery. This is followed by the usual traffic violations and of course the daily confrontations at the West Philippine Sea between China and the Philippines. And we can't forget the almost daily investigations by the Senate and Congress, usually on the same irregularity like the so-called PDEA leaks. Sometimes I pity Mayor Gua, who is in the hot seat lately on allegations of links with Pogo. I'm a retired employee of a private company connected with the Bureau of Customs in the late 90s with the position of chief investigator. So when I hear the inquiries being conducted at the Senate and Congress, I sometimes pity the respondents who are at the mercy of our congressmen and senators doing the questioning. What they are actually doing is evidence fishing. They base their questions on information gathered by their staff or so-called reliable sources, whom they won't divulge. As the newly elected Senate President clearly stated, which I 100% agree, the burden of proof lies on the accuser and not the other way around. You have to prove your allegations. And if you don't agree with the respondent's statements, you shouldn't call him a liar and hold him in contempt. It would be better if whatever evidence you have can't be refuted by the respondent. For example, LTO registration for car ownership, DTI, and BIR registrations for company, official birth records from City Hall and statistics, and so forth. Once all these documents are gathered, the only question that needs to be asked the respondent is their confirmation on the documents. Then submit it to the DOJ for appropriate action. That's all. No need to transform the hearing into a circus. We have a working legal system in the government, so maybe it is proper to just hand over the reins to them. I'm just a regular Juan de la Cruz, retired at that, and the only thing I am interested is food on the table for me and my family. And a little extra for some days out. That's it. PDEA leaks, Mayor Gua, Digong's tirade against Bongbong, I couldn't care less. So if our leaders can bring food down to manageable levels for my friends and neighbors, that, I would take my hats off to. Just think, the farm gate price of rice according to DA, is only 26 pesos per kilo but sold for 60 pesos per kilo. Red onions are 29 pesos, sold around 90 pesos retail. Latundan bananas goes for 28 pesos and sells for 80 pesos. Of course there are other factors to consider before it reaches the market, but I think this is where inquiries should be concentrated on. Middlemen might be making more than their rightful share at the mercy of the buying public. Considering also the law of supply and demand. If supply is more than demand, prices fall. If demand is more than supply, prices soar. Ascertaining that no artificial shortage is present. Give food prices the priority it needs and everything else will fall into place.